Huh? Dave? Oh? Huh? Durr?
Hey now, and welcome down to KCToyreviews. We are here today with The Conundrum Man by 6 Feet Lane Studio, aka Paul Dano's Riddler from the new Matt Reeves Batman movie, also starring Robert Pattinson. And I would have to say right off the bat, with this being the second version recently released, the first being Puzzle Man by Yon Toys, this one is indeed the superior version. So, as always, let's go ahead, fine comb some of those details, hold each other's hands, and dive right the hell goddamn in. Frodo Baggins. Alright, so here we are with The Conundrum Man by 6 Feet Lane Studios, and as I mentioned briefly in the beginning of this video, there has been another version recently released by Yon Toys, and that is The Puzzle Man. And if you are at all interested, I do have a separate comparison video up now. I'll do a brief 30-second just kind of side-by-side in this video, but I do have a detailed in-depth comparison video also up if you're interested which one's better and why. Now, as far as the figure in front of us, I think 6 Feet Lane Studio has done a fantastic job. I have heard rumors they are Mars toys. I'm not sure if I'm throwing them under the bus or something, but the reason I do mention that is I do have some Mars Toys figures that also are very good quality, which led me to believe prior to getting this in hand that this would be a quality release, and happy to report it indeed is. The only thing wrong with this, and we'll bash on it later, is the stand. I mean, the stand that these guys included has a sticker that's literally coming up on all the edges, but as far as the figure goes, so far everything looks great. And as far as the tailoring and the look of it, I truly think they did a stellar job. I mean, the tailoring on the coat is really, really nice. Dare I say, it actually looks real. It has like a fluff look to it, yet the proportions fit nicely around the body. On top of that, whether it's like a color wash or something, the color and the tone of it looks slightly better than the Puzzle Man, because this actually, dare I say, is a weathered-ish look. It's just slightly toned down from the very bright green just got from Dick's sporting good jacket that the Puzzle Man wears. Now, as we take a look at the tailoring up above on the hood, very nice. It's not too poofy. It sits nice behind him. If you want to have this hood up, I think it does snugly fit the head. And the way everything kind of sits and hugs the body is really nice. There's nothing that's sticking out stiff or too poofy or anything like that. Everything's just handled perfect. And as far as the head sculpt itself, I mean, it's a pretty straightforward, simple design. Not sure how these guys really could have screwed it up. I'm not a fan of how you have to sit the glasses on this guy. I almost wish that we just got 2 head sculpts, one with and one without, if everybody's dead set on taking the glasses off. But as we can see, as we pull these glasses off, we have some fantastic detail in those eyes. I mean, those are eerily real, very scary looking, slight glisten to those eyes. And there's not much of a paint application, but the skin tone in the paint application under the mask is very nice as well. I just think overall they did a really good job with those eyes, and they are actually creeping me out as I'm staring at them right now. I'm probably going to have some nightmares. And on his back, we have the very classic Riddler question mark. I mean, not too much to rave about or go into detail here. It looks pretty decent. It looks like it was just slathered on yesterday. Not sure why I said slathered on there, but painted on there, whatever the hell word we want to use. I just wish there was a little bit more weathering throughout this figure, especially when we look at the paint application on this. It's almost as if he just did it today. We have the same pattern going on as far as the excellent tailoring, and that now goes with the pants. I think the pants are tailored very nicely, the pockets on them. And then very similar, there's this wash/tone/weathered-ish look to the pants that I like versus a pair of pants that look brand new. We also have to note we have this little string here. And of course, with that said, I do like it. It adds a little bit more character and contrast to the overall look. And then taking a look at his right hand, we have the pick, kind of the, we have another one right here to show this one here, the clean version, and then we have the bloodied up version that's in his hand there. Now, as far as accessory information, we do have those 2 picks. We have to note they are plastic. Now, the other version had a die-cast pick. Personally, I'm not sure I give a crap. Take a couple steps back, and especially to the untrained eye, I'm not sure anybody would really notice whether it's die-cast or not. And then we have the benefit of 2 versions. Again, a bloodied version and then a clean version. And then lastly, we have the boots. Now, the boots are nothing to rave about because they're not split cut or anything like that. Articulation is going to be pretty limited on them. However, this is the Riddler. Sure, not going to be doing anything. He's not going to be jumping off of walls. So for what you need to do, that serves the purpose just right. And overall, I do think they did a nice job on the boots. I mean, they're nothing to rave about. They're a basic 3D printed boot with some paint application to it. But like I said, it does the job well. And because they're 3D printed, I mean, I guess the benefit there is they're not going to start to deteriorate if they're some pleather-ish type of boot. So you can think of longevity as a positive with these boots. But overall, like I said, they serve their purpose. They don't look horrible, but they're nothing to necessarily rave about. Now, as far as the figure goes, everything was pretty fantastic and top-notch. Until this stand entered the picture. I mean, wonk, wonk. And listen, I saw another review up by Riley. He has a nice review up of this as well. And the edges on his are starting to come up. So it's obviously not just mine. And we're talking straight up out of the box, this thing is doing that. But hey, they included the stand. It's a crotch grabber. We have the Riddler branded right on the front. We have the question mark on the bottom of the stand. So if this thing stuck properly, there would have been no complaints. I would just stress for the next release, better adhesive or better printing process on your stands. Now, as far as accessories go, we do have a bunch of the Batman letters, the riddles that he sent to him, and I picked on Yon Toys with the Puzzle Man release also, because did we truly need 5 or 6 different riddles? I mean, 1 or 2 would have sufficed in my opinion, because we're not going to have him holding 5 of them up. Ultimately, he's just going to have 1 of them. And it is worth noting, if you look to the right there, inside of each letter is an actual card, highly detailed from back to front. I'm not going to go through and read them all, but just know there is a little riddle inside of every little card. I can barely see that. You can just see my disgusting fat dry hands, so I apologize there, but just see some pretty crazy detail inside of these things. And then this accessory, we do have another roll of duct tape. And then this bag of crap here, I mean, I think you're supposed to make like your own duct tape holder, is what I saw in one of the pictures, which is a little bit weird. Just make one for us. I don't understand why we would have to Build-A-Bear process anything in here. And it's almost a little strange in my opinion, but it is an extra accessory. And lastly, we have the tiny little coffee cup. This is kind of a silly accessory in my opinion because he was drinking this when he didn't have the Riddler outfit on, so it doesn't make sense that he would have this with the Riddler outfit on. I mean, it's cool looking, has decent detail, but it makes absolutely no sense to have this posed with your guy. How the hell would he even drink this tea through his mask? It doesn't even make sense. It would get all over him, and it might even make his jacket wet. And just a quick side-by-side with another recent release that I've mentioned throughout this video. To the left, we have The Puzzle Man by Yon Toys, and then of course to the right, The Conundrum Man by 6 Feet Lane Studio. Both versions, very, very similar. However, there are subtle differences throughout both copies, which leads to one being definitely superior to the other. And to go ahead and spoil it now, The Conundrum Man is definitely the superior of the two. And I'm not going to go too much into it right now because I do have another video that goes through the differences in far greater detail. So I guess for now, just take a look at what your eye catches as the difference. And there we have it. The Conundrum Man by 6 Feet Lane Studio. And well, as we start to round this out and slap a score on this guy, some final closing notes. For starters, the tailoring from top to bottom is absolutely fantastic. We have a slight color wash throughout this outfit, which gives it a weathered-ish type look, and I think that is preferable to any type of villain that lives in Gotham. Gotham is always raining, this guy's killing people like crazy, it makes no sense that he would have any type of pristine clothing. In the way of accessories, I mean, yes, he might be lacking that sniper rifle that was released with the Puzzle Man, but we do have the pick, we do have a bunch of different options of riddle cards, and of course the 2 variations of duct tape. Overall, as I've mentioned, this is the superior version of the Riddler out there. I highly doubt that Hot Toys is going to put out a version, so in my opinion, this is either a take it or leave it situation. There are customizers out there making Riddlers that look far superior to this, but they're in the $400 to $600 range. So if you want to stick in the average $150 to $200 range for a third-party figure, I think this does do the character justice and will fit nicely in your shelf, especially if you have other villains. And I think it's a good time to segue to a score on this guy, and well, what comes to mind is an 8.2 out of 10. As he spins in front of me, I think it looks like a really good representation of Paul Dano's Riddler, beating a dead horse with it, the tailoring's good, and I like that washed out look. At this point, I'm not sure we are going to get much better unless you want to invest triple the price. So as I've said, this is definitely a version that I recommend. If you like the film, if you're looking for a version of the Riddler, go with the Conundrum Man by 6 Feet Lane Studio over the other versions. And personally, The Batman by Matt Reeves was one of the best films of last year. I thought it was an absolutely amazing take on Batman. Very excited for part 2. And I do believe Mars Toys, which has some type of affiliation with 6 Feet Lane Studios, has the Colin Farrell Penguin coming out. So do be on the lookout for that, which is just another Batman villain that you can add to your collection. So, with all that said, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here today with the Conundrum Man by 6 Feet Lane Studio, which is one badass representation of Paul Dano's Riddler. Catch you guys next time. Riddle me this, riddle me that.